Alright, y'all, so I have a friend that's been at me telling me that I need to make a vlog that's a little bit more on the positive side. So I decided I should humor her because my last two have been a little rough. Pardon me, I'm driving, so if you hear anything weird going on, that's what's up. So, you know, a little bit of an update as far as things that have happened since my last video that I made. All around, it's been a lot better, and there have been a couple of things that have contributed to that. First and foremost, I had several people reach out to me after I made that video and were very helpful to me. You know, I've had people really build me up, offer to, you know, take me to dinner and just talk to me and be a sounding board and things of that nature. I've noticed people being placed in my life in positions of like mentors and just shoulders to cry on. Like, God has really been working as far as placing the right people in my path. I mean, shoot, I had one day I was having just a ridiculous breakdown, and the head custodian at my school prayed over me while I bawled into her shoulder. No lie. Like, bawled all over her little smock or whatever. I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, girl, anytime. She was my angel that day. It was amazing. So I felt a real sense of community after I made that video. I feel like people have been placed in my path to help me. I've had some individuals come forward at my school in a mentorship capacity that are continually checking on me, making sure that, you know, things are going well in the classroom and what they can do to help as far as, you know, managing some of the crazy behavior that I deal with and that, you know, beats me up so much, things of that nature. So God has been at work 100%. God has been at work, placing the right people in my life, in my path, right where I need them. So that's been the first big positive thing that's happened. Another big positive thing that's happened is I changed my meds. And let me just tell you, oh my Lord, the difference that has made, I cannot even stress enough. The difference that has made has been insane. A little bit more detail. I'd been on Lexapro for a good 6 years, and it just was doing nothing for me anymore. Absolutely nothing. At least not for the depression portion. You know, maybe it was kind of still keeping me calm for my anxiety, but as far as the depression, it was doing absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing. I don't know if I just built up immunity to it. It just wasn't working anymore. I don't know what the deal was, but I stopped cold on the Lexapro. And I probably shouldn't have done that, but I was kind of desperate. You know, I was on the verge of a mental breakdown. Probably, you know, technically I guess I'd already had one, and was like, something's got to give or I'm going to lose it. So I cold turkeyed off the Lexapro for about 48, 72 hours, and I started on 50 milligrams of Zoloft. And I'm not shy about sharing what medications I'm on or what dosage. You know, some people might think that's a private matter. I'm here to help people. You know, I'm here to encourage people that struggle with mental health, and I think we should be visible about it. I don't think it's something that we should try to hide or make a taboo, because there's so many people on this earth that struggle with different mental illnesses. It should not be anything that we should hide behind. So I'll tell you what I'm on. I don't care. And that has made a world of difference. Even some of my coworkers, like on day 2 of switching, they were like, man, you're in a better mood today. Like, whoa, you're you know, instead of like coming into the lunchroom just frustrated at my wit's end, ready to tear out all my hair, etc., etc., they're like, man, you're just smiling and you're upbeat and this, that, and the other. I have not had a single like depressive episode, as far as like not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to do anything, feeling worthless, all that stuff. That is gone. That stuff has been gone. and I'm able to deal with these crazy children, bless their hearts, and not take it so personally. I was taking everything they were doing personally, and it was a mess. I was beating up on myself, like I'm the worst teacher ever. I can't do anything right, blah, 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 blah. And that's depression, y'all. That's depression. And I am a firm believer in the fact that, paramedic, pardon me. I'm a firm believer that God can use anything. There are some people that are very anti-medicine and very anti-doctor and science and stuff. And I'm like, I'm sorry. It's on the planet for a reason. Medication exists to be used. Doctors exist to be consulted. And yeah, of course you should always pray and you should always have your best interest in mind. And sometimes you just feel that a doctor is wrong and you got to go with your gut. But that doesn't mean that they're all bad and that all medicine is bad. If a medication helps you, take it. It can make such a difference. I am telling you what, if a medication helps you become a stable, happier human being, take the dang thing. I don't care what anybody has to say about it, because none of us are perfect. None of us have a perfect walk with God. You know, we're all at kind of different stages, and, you know, sometimes we need that extra help. Period. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. So that has been a massive help. I had a garbage day today, I'll be honest. The kids drove me crazy, but am I crying over it? Am I having a mental breakdown over it? No. I'm like, whatever, try again tomorrow. Like, and that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be every mistake is worthy of, you know, me ending my life, or every mistake is worthy of me just giving up altogether. I feel like I have myself back. You know, I've found that happy version of myself again. And sometimes meds can do that. Sometimes it's as simple as a chemical imbalance, jacking up your stuff, and you can't get it together. Me on no meds is not fun. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. It never has been. I have struggled with mental illnesses and things my whole life. I mean, I had ADHD as a child, severely. And then I had depression. I was diagnosed at the age of 9. And, you know, anxiety I was diagnosed with as an adult. OCD I was diagnosed as a young adult. I mean, I've dealt with it all. And there is no shame in admitting that you're a better person on medication, because some of us just need it, and I just don't think there's any shame in that. But anyway, so there have been a lot of positive things going on. The only thing that's really sucked lately is, you know, this ridiculous strain of the flu that I've been dealing with on and off, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, other than that, there's been a lot of good things happening. So I guess the moral of the story here is, if you feel like you are in the depths of darkness and you are just like ready to give up altogether on life, on whatever, hang on, because something is coming. Something's coming. Something good is coming your way. And it may take a little time. It might not be instantaneous. But, you know, especially if you are a person that does believe in God and have faith in God, you know, He's got you. He's got you. He's not going to let you go. You're going to be okay. Even if it seems like you are definitely not okay. And I was not okay. I was not even remotely okay. I was a hot mess. But I had a friend be like, girl, you need to call your doctor today and be like, get me on something different. Because she had been through a similar experience. She had been on Lexapro. It stopped doing anything for her. She switched over to like Zoloft and Buspar, and she's been amazing ever since. So, you know, you gotta hang on. And sometimes you have to have the wherewithal and the initiative to take action. And that's where some people have trouble, I think. You know, some people are so in the depths of their despair that they don't have the sense and the mental capacity to reach out for help. I'm thankful that I did have the mental capacity to speak what I was dealing with and reach out to the appropriate channels for help. Because if you speak what's going on and you talk to people you trust, it will get better. You will find the resources that you need and the people that you need in your life, and it will be okay. You know, I know that my life is not going to be 100% perfect from here on out. I know that. I'm not stupid. Like I said, today was a hot mess, but I dealt with it and I let it roll off. And I feel like I'm more collected as a person. I feel like I'm a stronger person, and I'm better able to deal with things. Because, you know, regardless of how hard it gets, I'm still trying to hang on, and I'm still praying, and I'm still, you know, doing all the right things. And eventually, okay, you get yourself out of that ditch and it gets better. It does. It gets better. And, you know, life is a series of hills and valleys, and it's always been very therapeutic for me to speak what's going on. And sometimes I know I might sound a teensy bit dramatic. I'm a dramatic person. I am. I mean, I'm a music teacher. I've been a performer. I've been an actor. I mean, I'm dramatic. I am. I own that about myself. I am. And I know that because of my mental health struggles that sometimes I blow things a little bit out of proportion. But when you're in the midst of it like that, sometimes you need to talk it out. Even if you sound like a crazy person, even if you sound like, man, she is unhinged, what the heck is her problem? It's therapy for me to speak it out, which is why I made those previous 2 videos, because that was like therapeutic for me. That was a release for me to get out all that negative stuff and all that negative emotion and purge myself of it. Because I don't know about y'all, but me being a teacher, being in a professional setting day after day, I gotta push all this stuff down. I can't be letting all my emotions hang out for all my ridiculous students to see. You know, they would eat me alive. They're like piranhas. They smell blood in the water and you're done. You know, I can't be there letting it all hang out. We have the face, and you've got the everything's okay, even though, like, you know, on the inside your entire being is on fire and you're just dying. Like, you can't show that. And I think a lot of us get in that phase where we're so used to putting on that face and we're so used to putting on that facade that when we do need to let emotions out, we can't, because we're so used to pushing them down and pretending like they're not there and putting on that I'm okay, that when we actually do need to purge ourselves of those emotions, we can't. We just feel numb. And that's something that happens to me. And I'm actually, in retrospect, I'm kind of grateful for my mental breakdown, or whatever you want to call it, because I was finally able to cry and get all that junk out and move on, all that stuff that I'd been, you know, holding down and holding back and pretending like it wasn't there. I was finally able to get all that stuff out, and it was very, very therapeutic, honestly. Sometimes you just gotta cry it out and lose your mind a little bit so that you can drag yourself back up by your bootstraps and keep going. On an additional note, my little side job that had me all really distressed, and, you know, I felt like things weren't going well at my primary job and things weren't going well at my side job, so I just felt kind of like an all-around failure. That has been improving drastically as well. I've been making changes and listening to my boss and, you know, figuring out how I can teach those kids better, and they've been doing so well. Like this past Saturday, my kids were like killing it at the ukulele and they were killing it on the piano. So, you know, I'm seeing improvements there too. So it helps. And I feel like I have people in my corner now to point out the positives and to say, you know, when you're just surrounded by negative, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, and all you hear is negative, it's really hard to be objective and say, yeah, but I'm doing better at this, or I'm good at this. I feel like I have people now to point out those good things and to help lift me up even when everything else around me is negative. So that's important too. Having a network of people that care about you and that you can lean on. I have some fabulous coworkers. The kids might be rotten. Bless their little hearts. Not all of them. but the kids can be tough, but I have fantastic coworkers. I have fantastic coworkers that I can talk to about anything, and they can tell me whatever, and we can like build each other up, and it's really amazing. So God's there. God's working it out. You know, it's not perfect. I'm still, you know, fighting battles every day. Every day I strap on my armor and I go into battle, but I am better equipped now. And, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel, y'all. There is. And in reality, it may seem endless, but it's really just kind of a hump. You're in the valley and then you get up on the hill, and then you're in the valley. It's like I said earlier, you know, life is a series of hills and valleys. The problem is when you're in a valley, you don't see that there's a hill coming up. You know, all you see is I'm down here in the valley surrounded by darkness, and then that's it. So just know that if you're in the valley, your hill is coming. It's coming. You just got to hold on. Hold on. It's going to be all right. I love y'all. Thank you for watching my goofy videos. I'm going to try to do more positive things as well, more uplifting things. And just, you know, being a voice for people that can't be a voice for themselves. Normalizing mental health issues. You know, I'm all about making that not taboo and making that something that's normalized, because guess what? I don't know many people that don't suffer. And, you know, I want to do some other things. I want to maybe do some like singing stuff. So, you know, stay tuned. I'll be doing all kinds of fun stuff. All right, love y'all. Have a fabulous rest of your Monday.